Welcome to Cardano for Everyone, a podcast series from Pasta Steak Pool. Each episode explores something new about Cardano in a way that's simple and accessible for everyone. In the mood for some Cardano magic? Let's get started.
Welcome to our deep dive into the Cardano Foundation. Today, we're going on a trip, a virtual trip that is to Zug, Switzerland, to trace the journey of the Cardano Foundation, its origin story, its mission, and some of the remarkable milestones along the way.
So picture Zug, Switzerland, a place they call Crypto Valley. All started with just two individuals, Charles Hoskinson and Jeremy Wood.
Okay.
And they were deeply involved in the early days of Ethereum.
So they were already in the space.
Yeah, but they had a different vision. They wanted to create a blockchain that was even more secure, scalable, and sustainable.
We see the potential of blockchain, but we think there's a better way to do it.
And so they set out on their own, and in 2015, the Cardano Foundation was born.
So 2 years before the Cardano blockchain itself was launched. Interesting. So they had these two ambitious founders, but Cardano itself didn't launch until 2017, right?
Yeah.
So what were they doing during those 2 years?
Well, they were doing a lot of groundwork. I mean, remember, they were building a completely new blockchain from scratch. It wasn't about copying and pasting existing code or anything. They took a very meticulous approach, focused on research, peer review, and building a strong foundation. From the very beginning, they were considering things like governance and sustainability. And they understood that this ecosystem, it needed structure. So there's the Cardano Foundation itself.
Okay.
There's IOG, Input Output Global. They handle the technical development, the actual building of the blockchain.
Okay.
Then you have Emergo. They focus on the real-world application of Cardano. They're driving its adoption in various industries. And then, of course, you have the Cardano Foundation.
Okay, so they each play a specific, very important role.
Yes, very vital.
So let's get back to the Cardano Foundation. What exactly is their mission?
So their mission, they call it Blockchain for Good.
Blockchain for Good.
And they're a nonprofit organization.
So their goal isn't profit.
They're focused on creating a secure and inclusive digital ecosystem, one that empowers individuals and promotes sustainable growth.
They really want to use blockchain to make a positive impact on the world.
And they do this through a variety of initiatives. They're big on education, making sure people understand how blockchain works and its potential. And they also focus on operational resilience.
Operational resilience.
Ensuring that the Cardano blockchain is robust and reliable. And of course, they're all about governance, creating a framework for responsible and transparent decision-making within the ecosystem.
Okay, so they've got a solid foundation and a clear mission. Now, how did they actually get Cardano off the ground?
Well, their first major milestone was the launch of the Cardano blockchain and its native cryptocurrency, ADA, back in 2017. In 2022, they took a big step towards transparency. And they did that by releasing their first annual report.
Oh, cool.
And this was really a sign of a maturing organization willing to lay it all out, their accomplishments, their financial holdings, their vision for the future.
I mean, that's so crucial in the blockchain space,
Yeah.
trust and accountability. So they talked about their finances in this report.
They did. By the end of 2023, they reported holding a staggering $478 million in assets.
Wow, that's a lot of money.
It is, especially for an organization that isn't driven by profit. And this commitment is evident in their actions as well.
So what kind of actions?
One thing they did was they partnered with leading security firms to conduct regular audits and penetration testing.
So it's kind of like having the world's top cybersecurity experts constantly looking for vulnerabilities.
Exactly. Constantly probing, making sure it's as secure as Fort Knox.
Okay. Did they do anything else besides these security partnerships?
They also developed robust disaster recovery plans to ensure that even in the face of unexpected events, the Cardano network can bounce back quickly and securely.
Okay, so they're being proactive and reactive when it comes to security. Now, what about education? How are they working to make blockchain technology more accessible to people?
Okay, well, one of their major initiatives was the launch of the Cardano Academy. It's a comprehensive online resource for anyone who wants to learn about blockchain.
So from the very basics to more advanced stuff.
It's basically like a free, always open university dedicated to blockchain education.
So they're really democratizing access to knowledge.
Which is so important in such a rapidly evolving field. They also organized workshops and training programs all around the globe. And they go beyond just online learning. They've partnered with universities like the University of Zurich and UTN in Argentina to bring blockchain education to a global audience.
Partnering with universities, that's a smart move. It gives them credibility and helps reach a wider audience. Now let's talk about adoption. Getting Cardano out there in the real world, how did they approach that challenge?
Well, they really focused on building partnerships.
Okay, so give me an example.
For instance, they collaborated with the Ethiopian Ministry of Education
The Ethiopian Ministry of Education.
to create a blockchain-based system for student and teacher identification and record keeping. Strategic partnerships are a big one. They're collaborating with global exchanges to make Cardano easily accessible and integrated into the wider cryptocurrency market.
So making it easy for people to buy, sell, and trade AD, I imagine.
Exactly. They're also working closely with regulatory bodies to ensure compliance and promote blockchain-friendly policies.
That's a crucial step, especially with all the regulatory uncertainty surrounding cryptocurrencies these days. You mentioned earlier that sustainability is a core value for the Cardano Foundation. So what were they doing to make sure that Cardano is environmentally responsible?
Well, one of the things they did was they partnered with the Crypto Carbon Ratings Institute.
Okay, the CCRI.
Yeah, to develop sustainability indicators for Cardano.
So they could measure their impact. Now, we've talked a lot about the Cardano Foundation's actions, but they also released a document called Our Cardano in 2024.
Our Cardano basically outlines their core principles and their long-term vision for the project.
What are some of the specific things that they outline in Our Cardano?
Well, one of the key challenges they address is making sure that decentralization doesn't come at the expense of usability and accessibility.
Yeah, making it easy to use.
They want to make sure Cardano remains user-friendly, even as it grows in complexity.
Right, because sometimes technology can become inaccessible to the average person.
They see immense potential in using blockchain to empower marginalized communities and drive financial inclusion. They believe that Cardano can help level the playing field and give everyone access to the opportunities of the digital economy.
That's a powerful vision. It really aligns with their blockchain for good ethos. Now, we can't talk about blockchain these days without addressing regulation. How is the Cardano Foundation approaching this?
They've actually been very proactive, engaging with regulators all around the world.
Okay, so give me an example.
They were early supporters of the European Union's markets in crypto assets regulation.
FICA.
Yeah, MiCA. And they were working to ensure that Cardano meets those standards.
So they're not just complying, they're actively shaping the regulations.
That's right.
Okay, so let's delve into this community focus a little bit more. Can you give us some specific examples of how they're engaging the community?
One of the most prominent examples is the Cardano Summit.
What is that?
It's an annual event that brings together developers, researchers, entrepreneurs, Cardano enthusiasts from all corners of the globe.
So like a massive blockchain convention.
You could say that, but it's more than just a gathering.
Sure.
It's an opportunity for the community to connect, learn about the latest advancements in the Cardano ecosystem, and share ideas.
Sounds like a fantastic platform for networking and collaboration.
The 2023 summit in Dubai, for example, had over 1,000 attendees from 87 countries.
Wow, that's a truly global gathering. What were some of the key takeaways from that summit?
There were tons of great discussions and presentations, but one that really stood out was the Art Beyond Borders initiative.
Art and blockchain, that's an interesting combination. Tell me more.
It was a showcase of how Cardano is being used to support artists from conflict zones and marginalized communities. They're using blockchain technology to give these artists a voice and connect them with, a global audience.
That's incredibly powerful. It seems like they're really committed to using blockchain for social good. What else are they doing to kind of foster this community involvement on a regular basis?
Well, they host these regular webinars called Let's Talk Cardano, where they go into different aspects of the project and answer questions directly from the community.
So like an open forum.
Yeah, for dialogue and feedback.
Which is so important for any project that says it's decentralized. So how has the Cardano Foundation actually given ADA holders a voice?
So one of the most innovative things they've done is called Project Catalyst.
Project Catalyst, okay.
Yeah.
What is that?
It's a unique governance mechanism that allows ADA holders to propose and vote on projects that will receive funding from the Cardano Treasury.
So they're really putting the power in the hands of the community.
Exactly.
Okay, so how does that work?
Basically, anyone with ADA can submit a proposal for a project they believe would benefit the Cardano ecosystem,
Okay.
and then the community reviews and discusses these proposals.
Okay.
And ultimately, ADA holders vote on which projects they think are most deserving of funding.
Wow, that's truly a democratic approach and shape the direction of the project.
Yeah, it's all about community-driven innovation.
Okay, we've talked a lot about community, but how do they manage the foundation itself? It seems like there's a lot going on. Education, summits, funding projects. It must be a challenge to keep everything running smoothly.
It's definitely a complex operation, and that's where their focus on operational resilience comes into play.
Right, we mentioned that earlier. But what does operational resilience actually mean in practice?
It means building systems and processes that can withstand challenges and, adapt to change. They're constantly working to ensure the Cardano blockchain is secure, reliable, and scalable enough to handle the growing demands of the ecosystem.
So it's about building a foundation that can weather any storm?
Exactly. They're taking a long-term perspective, constantly looking for ways to improve the security and efficiency of the Cardano platform.
So that's reassuring to hear, especially with all the volatility we see in the crypto world. It sounds like they're taking a very responsible approach.
They are. They understand that trust is, essential in the blockchain space, and they're working hard to earn and maintain that trust.
But with all this talk about decentralization and community empowerment, I have to ask, what role does the Cardano Foundation see for itself in the long run? If the community is ultimately in charge, does the foundation eventually become, obsolete?
That's a great question, and it's one the foundation has been thinking about carefully. Their vision is to eventually transition to a model where the community is truly self-governing.
So they're working towards their own obsolescence. Pretty unique approach.
It is, but it speaks to their commitment to decentralization. They believe that ultimately the Cardano ecosystem should be governed by the people who use it, not by a central authority.
That's pretty bold vision. But how do they plan to make that transition? That seems like a daunting task.
It's definitely a complex undertaking, but they're already taking steps in that direction. One of the key initiatives is the development of a robust governance framework for Cardano.
A governance framework, what does that entail?
It involves establishing, clear rules and processes for decision-making, dispute resolution. They're working to ensure that this framework is transparent, accountable, and truly reflects the will of the Cardano community.
So they're essentially setting the stage for a future where the community can govern itself effectively.
They're laying the groundwork for a decentralized future where the Cardano Foundation can eventually, step back and let the community take the reins.
That's an incredible vision. It's inspiring to see an organization that's willing to relinquish control and empower the community in such a profound way.
I think the Cardano Foundation's story is a powerful reminder that blockchain is about more than just speculation or making a quick profit. It's a tool with immense potential to address real-world challenges and create a more equitable and sustainable society. And the Cardano Foundation is leading by example, showing us what's possible when we combine that technological innovation with a strong sense of purpose and community.
Beautifully said. And to our listener, as you continue to explore the world of blockchain, remember to look beyond the hype. Who's behind it? And what kind of impact are they aiming to achieve? We've covered a lot of ground, but there's always more to explore. Thanks for joining us, and until next time.
Thank you for being part of Cardano for Everyone. We hope you gained something valuable from today's episode. If you'd like to support our mission of making Cardano knowledge accessible for all, consider selecting Pasta from the pool list when you delegate. Every bit of support helps us bring more content to listeners like you. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and we'll see you on the next episode.